All right. Hello, everyone. Today is the 25th day of the month of collecting here on Neopets. And speaking of collecting, trick or treating has started. So we are going to go ahead and collect all of our goodie bags. Now, I will say this, I don't usually open them, so you won't be seeing what I get, unfortunately. They're just items I love to have. I love to keep them all from previous years. I'll show you my collection in this video. And I also just want to say I want to give you a little update on where I've been. This month has just been complete chaos for me. There was so much going on. I didn't get to edit any of my Fairy Festival videos except for the one that got posted. So I'm real sorry about that. But I have just been so distracted with other things that unfortunately that fell to the wayside. But I am still planning on finishing and posting those videos. They're just going to be mega late. This one is hopefully going to come out very soon. So, with all of that said, let's hop into this. Now, Jelly Neo does have all of the locations, but I kind of wanted to click around, although I do know one. So let's head over there right now. We're going to go to Tyrania. We're going to go to Tyranian weaponry, which is very interesting. And here we go. We got the Lainey and Lily trick or treat bag. You find a book along with the bag. Stapled together are many documents labeled Neighborhood Watch Incident Report. Most of the papers are covered in an odd red substance, making it hard to read a lot of them. Log 1. 23rd day of hunting, Y14. Location: Park in Neovia. Description of incident: those rotten twins have been a blight on this neighborhood since they were born. Their mother won't do a thing to reprimand them, so I suppose it's up to me to document their heinous actions in the hopes of compiling enough evidence that the sheriff will actually do something about them for once. This will be one of many reports, I am sure. Lainey and Lily have somehow obtained many of the local children's favorite toys and strung them up among the trees in the park. I caught them laughing and dancing as the other kids tried climbing the trees to retrieve them. When pressed as to why they did this, all they said was they were decorations for the party. What horrible children indeed. Log 22. Date: 14th day of relaxing, Y14. Location: Wilberforce's residence. Description of incident: the rotten twins have really outdone themselves. They noticed me watching them from my house and actually approached me directly, then threatened me. They said I should be their babysitter if I wanted to watch them so badly, and they could show me why the last one had disappeared. Then they skipped away, singing about how babysitters make the perfect cakes for their parties. It was, of course, vague enough that if I reported it, nothing would happen. Now that their mother is busy with the littlest rotten, I fear what new horrors they will get up to. Not like she would have been much help to begin with. I can only hope that new boy of hers doesn't grow up to be as horrible as his sisters. Log 38. Date: 6th day of swimming, Y14. Location: Rotten's residence. Description of incident: for the past few weeks, I have started noticing a pattern. The Rotten twins have been helping their mother with her flower beds in front of the house, and ever since then, their hydrangea bushes have grown rapidly. Alongside this new occurrence, there has also been a steady stream of new missing pet posters appearing throughout the neighborhood. What really turned my stomach was hearing them say how lovely the flowers would be for a party. Their brother at least appeared as disturbed as me. He's just a baby, so I may be projecting. What I'm most worried about is that next week is their birthday. I'm afraid of what they are going to do. Log 43. Date, 13th day of swimming, Y14. Location, Rotten's residence. Description of incident. I don't know why I'm writing this one. The police already know, but I still can't believe what happened. Their obsession with parties was always strange, and I figured their birthday party would be morbid, but I never could have guessed that they had planned something like this. I can still hear that wretched music as they sang. I suppose it doesn't matter anymore. They're gone, and they aren't coming back. The whole family was indeed rotten to the core. Good riddance. Log 44. Date, 11th day of sleeping, Y15. Location, Wilberforce's residence. Description of incident. This can't be happening. I hear it again. I hear them singing and laughing all around my house. It started out of the blue a few weeks ago, but no one believes me. But I saw them this time. They were at my window, smiling and staring. They wanted in. They wanted me. I have to get out of. And then it cuts off. Ooh, that's a fun little story. I love that. I love that they're getting some like lore and backstory. I don't know if they have had lore and backstory before. Oh, oh, I love trick or treating. I love trick or treating. And since I don't open my own bags because I just love the art of the full trick or treat bag so much. I did think it would be kind of fun to sort of look in and see what is inside this item. So this is the information Jelly Neo has. It may not be complete right now because these are from my knowledge, these are new for this year. So this is cute. This bewitching sorcerer's bonnet here. I'm actually surprised at the prices. Obviously, the Akara transmogrification potion, very expensive. Everything else, kind of reasonable. Kind of could afford to just sort of buy it if I wanted these two here. So that's good. Oh, I just put this up for sale on my that's funny. I didn't know it was part of this. I had this from something else and I just started selling it because I was like, oh, Halloween soon. That works. But okay, very cute. I'm loving these items. I want this. I want this. Wow, so cheap. Okay. Oh, those are good though. But no, nobody has prices right now for these because they're new. Okay, what a wonderful little bag to start off with. And now we have to click around and find the next one. So I'm going to do that. Actually, you know what? Let's head to the haunted woods. There has to be at least one in the haunted woods somewhere, right? Are they always shops or I am actually not sure. I might go to Neovia actually. I feel like they have to have something in here. I have been to. Oh, yay! I got it. Okay, I was gonna say I've been shopping today, so I actually have been to two of the Neovian shops, but not this one. Amazing. So we got the Ombra Trick or Treat bag. You find a book along with the bag. This handwritten book is labeled Ombra's items log. Many of the entries are smudged and unreadable. Notes are scribbled throughout the margins that seem to have been added later. And if you don't know, because it took me a second to realize, Ambra is this Aisha here. She says, "Welcome. I am very happy to have a visitor. No one comes to visit me anymore. I wish someone who wasn't a ghost would help me clean up a bit, but I guess that is too much to ask. Let me know if there is anything you want in the attic, as I am the only one who still lives here, and I can't really use any of it." And yeah, if you haven't been here, this is also located in Neovia. It is an unmarked building that you have to click. So the book says, "Item number 52, exotic plants, often sought out by flora enthusiasts who wish to have a showpiece in their collection, but don't want to deal with the hassle of getting it the correct way. This can't be what they're after." Item number 75, superior reflection shield. Despite being a shield, these have a tendency to break during transport, but that's a great excuse to up the price. This could be useful if they find me, whoever they are. Item 91, Staff of Nova. Usually mistaken for its more powerful look-alike. Always ask for cash up front when dealing with these. Clients aren't always the happiest upon delivery. Maybe a disgruntled client is doing this. Item number 124, Evil Eye Ring. Not many trade in objects like this for a reason, but beggars can't be choosers. Just be careful not to look directly at it. Why is this happening to me? There have been 3 attempts so far. I don't know how to stop this. Item 132, Queen Fyora stamp. Hard to get, but easy to sell. Keeping too many around can be risky though. Best to keep them hidden in the attic. No one knows where my stash is. I should hide there. Item number 159, Croc. Don't particularly like dealing in pet transportation, but these guys often catch a hefty price. If one of these grew to have a vendetta, I may be up here for a while. Item number 172, Cloud Bomb. Don't trade in explosives anymore. I still have regrets about this one. Item 193, Gold Harp. There are not many asks for stuff like this. It's a nice break from the other requests that come through. The longer I'm in here, the creepier all this stuff becomes. I swear I could hear one of these instruments playing music for a moment. Item number 224, Blade of the Battle Fairy. This one may have been a mistake to take. The client was happy, but now the fairies are on high alert. It will be hard to move things in and out of fairyland for a while. I remember this. Could a fairy really be coming for me after all this time? Item 257, Tablet of Horrific Curses. Items like this are some of the most requested items, yet the price for handling these is always high, both metaphorically and literally. I wish I had never gotten into this forsaken business. Item 289, Freezing Potion. Be wary of anyone purchasing this under the table. Make sure to package it in a way that the buyer can't open it right away. I've been up here so long. Maybe this is all in my head. Maybe I can just get rid of all of this junk and start over. Item number 333. Sword of the Dead. Both the dead and the living can handle this. Personally, not the most useful, but it doubles my clientele base. I think I heard something downstairs. This place has looked abandoned for years. How could anyone know that I'm here? These are so good. Okay, whoever wrote, like, genuinely, whoever wrote these, props, fireworks, roses thrown at you. I'm loving these. It is so, that's so eerie and like, oh, someone found her and that's why she's a ghost in the attic. Ah, I love it. I love it so much. I did sort of read it with a ghosty voice the entire time, not realizing that she was alive when she wrote it, but maybe she just always talked like that. Who knows? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, I'm betting that there isn't anything else in Neovia then, so let's pop around. Maybe there's a location in Fairyland, I want to say. And looking at the trick or treat bag, it looks like pretty much all the same items here, except for the last two, which is the exclusive items, the almost abandoned attic catalog, and the Ombra plushie, which I love these items. I don't want to open the bag, but I love those items. I've also been shopping around Fairy City for a little bit. So it's definitely not in Fairy Foods, but we'll try Pet Pets. Not here. Furniture. Nope. Bookshop. Nothing. Okay. I think that's all the shops over here. I don't know if they ever put it on a different page. So maybe nothing in Fairyland. Let's keep a moving. Okay, I will admit I caved and looked at Jelly Neo and I passed right by it. I didn't look at the fairy weapon shop. I was like, oh, maybe it's in Fairyland, and then didn't click on this. So here we go. We got the Fairy Artificer trick or treat bag. You find a book along with the bag. Someone crumpled up this tear stained note and concealed it inside a hidden compartment disguised as a brick on a fairyland castle balcony. I thought I saw you last night, lounging in the courtyard where we used to sit together, charting grand futures. For a moonbeam dappled moment, I could have sworn you called for me from the shadows, as if you had been waiting all this time for us to pick up where we left off. Then the clouds parted. The grass lay empty while a dead silence evidenced that even the wind sought to abandon me, and the moon illuminated the fact that I was still alone, an eternal verity I accept when first lifting the crown. I thought I saw you last night, alone in the library, perusing the mustiest tome you could find, perched on the corner of those stiff chairs you could never seem to sit still on, provoking stifled memories to rupture their restraints and abscond to the forefront of my mind. Then, the shadows faded. Memories of simpler times twisted into fragmented phantasms of the past, slipping away, leaving me nostalgic for your irksome fidgeting, your rambling yet fervent tangents, and sobbing into the arms of a deeply perplexed Kshatriya. I thought I saw you last night, propped against the throne, twiddling your curved locks, the same spot where you counseled me through the darkest of times, never shying away from even the most contentious of conversations. Then a gentle zephyr roused my wandering mind, stirring me from my conceited daydream. The tender breeze wished to remind me that you had always closed the windows before dark. I thought I saw us last night, arguing in the reflection of the rainbow fountain. When I faltered, you were never afraid to share your every thought, until our quarrels reached a crescendo and an insurmountable distance grew between us. Then I looked up across the water to see younger fairies shouting in our place. I witnessed earth and shadow parting before me. History revolves as they turn their backs on one another. I thought I saw you last night, or at least that intrigued gleam of yours, reflected in the eyes of a gifted young sorceress. She acted as you did in those days, lighting up at new discoveries, unable to let go of the past. Once more I found myself lacking, unable to balance duty and friendship. Then I woke to a stone-cold realization. The years had worn away my convictions, driven me to clutch secrets tight to my chest. How could either of you truly be to blame for your missteps when your leader failed to guide you down the right path? I thought I saw you last night. Then I remembered. Because of me, there's nothing left of you. I don't even know what to say about this one. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, this is a fairy. I am not all the way up on my fairy lore. I tried to do a little bit of research here and I couldn't find anything, or not anything solid. Obviously, I would need a little more time to look into that because there are several other items that are of the fairy artificer, and their descriptions say, like, oh, nobody knows or remembers who last held this title. It was so long ago, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't have solid information on who this is about, but I thought it was very interesting. These lines here are very clearly referring to Jadora and Illison. I witnessed earth and shadow parting before me. History revolves as they turn their backs on one another. So that alone is so good. The story, the writing, I'm I'm eating it up, okay? And then we also have two new items. Again, all of the trick or treat bags are the same except for their exclusive items. So these are the items that come in this one. Although I have noticed actually it's almost all the same items, but I don't know if it's fully the same items because I haven't seen this one or this one in there before. But we've got the Artificer Workbench Foreground and Magical Tinkering. Very, very cool. And I'm just going to be using Jelly Neo for the rest of these. I can't be clicking around anymore. That took way longer than I expected it to, and reading all of this is taking way longer than I expected it to. So I'm going to go ahead and head to the next location. so, so, so the next one is the Dead Chia Trick or Treat bag. and you find a book along with the bag. This is in the health food shop. You find a book along with the bag, and it's just this. This crumpled up piece of paper has a note from Reginald attached. I'm honestly not sure what to take from this, but it haunts me. If you're unaware, I don't think anybody who's on Neopets isn't unaware or isn't aware of this. God, I can't talk anymore. But this is the dead Chia image that was like totally memed on. And they have a bunch of stuff. They even have an avatar right now. Let me show you. So right here, this came out just today. A new avatar featuring a dead Chia has been released, and you can get this by having a sick yellow Chia with 0 HP, and this is the image that it is referring to. Yeah, so it's a very funny image. They're doing a lot with it this October, which I really appreciate, and I'm hoping I can get that avatar, but I don't have any open pet slots, so we'll see. Anyway, that one gave me a little bit of a breather, so I didn't have to read so much, but we are going to go ahead and continue. Our next one was at the Rue Island Souvenirs Shop, and we received the Count Von Rue Trick or Treat bag number 2, and we found a book along with the bag. This letter has shaky handwriting, and the yellow parchment indicates it must be very old. There's nothing else on it, though, to indicate who wrote it. My parents always warned me to keep my windows closed at night. I was a good kid. I listened to everything else they had to say, but I loved the feeling of a breeze as I fell asleep. So sometimes I would open a window or two after they came to check on me for the night. I'd give anything to feel a breeze again. Master Von Rue has admitted he didn't mean to turn me. I was just supposed to be a convenient snack. That's why I awoke alone the next morning, knowing nothing but that I felt different, hungry. I wept as monstrous nails jutted from my hands and my teeth shifted painfully around. My parents, they heard my wails and ran to help me. I wasn't hungry after that. Ever since then, I have followed him. To his credit, he did not force me to. In fact, he got upset when I would not leave. But I had nowhere else to go, so follow him I did, and have for a long time now. Trekking far from my home within the haunted woods, I have now seen most of the world. I've seen its sorrow, and its beauty, and its horror. Master is not evil, but he is not good. He does whatever pleases him in the moment. He jokes amongst patrons at taverns, sings ancient tunes alongside traveling musicians, and passes out coins to village children. Yet, I've also watched as he's passed by those in desperate need of help, turned others into monsters without care, and destroyed whole lives when he hungers. I wonder if I will do such things one day. Will I lose myself, as he has? I like to think I've been a good kid and kept to my parents' teachings since I began following him. I have fed, but only to survive. No more lives have been taken or twisted such as mine. But there are the tasks. When the Master remembers that I am here, he will sometimes send me away on tasks. Most of these seem to be him toying with me. At first, I thought he was serious, but the more I do, the more I think he is just trying to see what levels of depravity he can send me down. This is why I write this, for I think this is the last task he will ever ask of me. When we arrived in his homeland, he stopped me from following. He said he was staying and that I could not. He told me he was interested in seeing what I would become. But for that to happen, much more time needed to pass me by. I have been tasked to wander, as he has, to never know familiarity. I think he wants me to become like him. He wants me to become a monster. If I do, someone please send me to see my mom and dad. Okay, this next one was at the Witch's Tower. We have received the Hubrid Knox trick-or-treating bag, and we found a book along with the bag. That seems to be what we find every time. This stack of paper seems to be a rough draft of a manuscript. A lot of pages are missing, and many things seem to have been erased or scribbled out. When I heard he was gone, I was angry at myself. Angry that my first thought wasn't one of joy. He was a terrible man. And the fact that he's dead means the world is better off. Right? And yet, my first thought was a selfish one. If he is gone, what happens to me? How can I atone? Perhaps once alone, I can start to work through these thoughts. I stop him, I can move on. And to take a peek at the items or the exclusive items that you get, there's a Count Von Rue cape and some weighted dice in the Count Von Rue trick-or-treat bag, and the Hubrid Knox one has a Hubrid Knox action figure and a cupcake. And our final trick-or-treat bag here is the Bringer of the Night trick-or-treat bag. We find a book along with the bag. This book is labeled Beware the Bringer of Night and seems to have been read many times, as the cover and pages are well worn and starting to fall apart. He has been called many things: demigod, deathbringer, demon. All of these are true to some degree, and no one would know this more than those he has had under his thumb. His reasonings are unclear, but he has terrorized countless by decreeing himself their ruler. It does not matter if they are already ruled by another. Once he has his eyes on ruling, he destroys all he must to secure his crown. There are many contradicting stories about why he does what he does. Some say he does this simply because he can. Others claim to have proof that he has no control over his actions, while others still quietly ruminate that it is his apparent lack of full godhood that compels him to throw his weight around. No matter the case, there have been very few who even dare try to oppose him. Those who do often do not return home in their entirety. Many calamities have been accredited to him over the years he has roamed these lands. It's said he was seen shaking the earth to bury the old lands, or he was the cause behind a giant cloud of ash that choked out the sky. He was even accredited for stirring the ocean to create a whirlpool big enough to swallow a land right off the map. These atrocities, and more, may not be confirmed. Still, it is often thought that he first started his rampage among those in the Lost Desert long before it was even known by that name. It was so long ago now that it is hard to know how he came to be, but once he was, there was no stopping him. His greed was so great that it corrupted all those around him. They say he turned them into nothing more than servants to bring him grand fortunes. He would bleed the people dry of all their land's wealth. Then, when there was nothing more to gain, his anger would become so great that he would obliterate all in his way, until he came upon a new, unsuspecting corner of the world to impoverish. It is thought that must be how he was the one to drive the Bori so deep into the mountain that they were forgotten by the rest of the world. He had wiped the world of all its jewels, so he drove us to the brink of extinction to get the only remaining treasure, the heart of our people. He destroyed us, just as he had destroyed the world around us. But not even a power as hot as his can burn forever. You see, we also had power. And while we could not extinguish his flame, it was enough to show those he stepped upon that they could stand up to him. In the end, we had to hide. But the very first of his victims, those of the lost desert of their time, managed to bring down this mighty foe. The story goes that they marched into battle with a mighty military cadence, and were somehow able to dull the will of the beast. They never told a soul how they managed this tremendous feat. But, due to this, they were able to beat back the monster who had enslaved them for so long, and ensnare him in a prison of his own, guarded by a powerful curse. Yet a demon can bide his time for eternity. Once again, this foul entity was set free upon our people. and if not for the brave actions of a few, we would not be here today. This is why, dear children, you must tread carefully. For even though he has seemingly been defeated for good, he has returned from the dead once already, and you never know if he will return again. And finally, these are the exclusive prizes for that trick-or-treat bag, the Bringer of the Night Night Light, and the Bringer of the Night plushie. Now, if you did not participate in trick-or-treating last year, you will be getting this trick-or-treat avatar, but it is the same avatar from last year, so that's why I didn't get it, because I participated last year. Huzzah! Okay, oh my god, sorry. I can't believe I forgot to look inside of the dead Chia trick or treat bag. And there is this dead Chia memorial trinket and a dead Chia plushie. So beautiful, wonderful. 10 out of 10, no notes. Let's go look at my full collection now. So some of these are from Y16, which was, gosh, oh my gosh, what year was that? 2014. Okay. It's hard to keep track of the years because it's not like one to one. Like it's not Y24 right now. It's Y23, I think. I don't know. But these ones here are from Y16, and then I have one here from Y18, but that is from the Fairy Festival and not from the actual trick or treating. So I participated in trick or treating here, and then some of these aren't labeled, which I'm actually a little bit sad about. I wish they would change that so that you knew what year they were from. Even the ones that we just got aren't labeled, which is sad for me. I would love them to be labeled with the year. So maybe TNT will consider that in the future or in the right now. They could edit them still. There's still time. But yeah, so this is my full collection. Like I said, I don't like to open these just because they're so cool and special to me as is that I don't I don't care as much about the items inside. And I know that plenty of other people are opening them up and selling the items inside, so I can buy them no problem. All right, I know that one was a very long, very chatty or reading heavy episode today, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got to maybe do your own trick or treating while listening to me read the stories that we got, which again I am so pleased, especially with the one about the twins and the one with the fairy, and oh my god, and the one with the almost abandoned attic character Ambra. Those were amazingly well written and compelling. And I think my main thing with the other ones were I just don't have enough backstory. I don't know enough lore for those ones to be as compelling, but I was still really excited to read them. And I am so glad I got to do this. With all of that said, I think that is going to go ahead and do it for us today. Again, keep on the lookout for my other videos. My Fairy Festival ones were just, once again, the Void Within, the Fairy Festival, and this are very, very reading heavy, so they take a lot of editing because I can't do it all in one take, and yeah. So it's going to be a while before you see those, but hopefully I can get them out to you soon-ish. Anyway, that is going to go ahead and do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely and very spooky Halloween, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!